That's how stupid you are. Too bad I don't have a helper here that can sit here and film me and watch this shit follow me around the wires. It's on attention wires too. If it's on attention wires, look out. Oh boy, it's hitting the trees. These are antennas. It pairs with the brain. You start hearing these pops. They'll go into the trees and the metal. These are antennas. And the last thing I'll say is military, law enforcement, and agencies are using cyber weapon surveillance tools. Without your knowledge, they're getting in your cell phone. There's nanofilm in there, semiconductors, and the brain. Robert Morris, you guys study cybersecurity up there now, huh? You got that transmitter up there with the no weather station? Cybersecurity. What are you doing to protect people's brains? It's like high grade calculus up there, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why nobody likes you. Let's change the brain density. Analog. Hear that bird? It'll sit there for an hour and do the same thing all fucking day. Hear it? There's a magnetic field around my body that reacts. When that bird is yelping, going through them power lines, there's an amplitudinal signal reacting with a magnetic field around my body. I'm trying to show you with a cigarette. They're not as stupid as I thought. But it'll just start spinning right here. It's a signal. A signal, huh? All I gotta do is walk around and find this shit. From the power lines, since there is ions up there, right? There's ions. This could be controlled now. Control ionic charges, positive and negative charges. It's like convection when you take a metal tube and drop static on another piece of metal. And now we have patents to control nano in and on the human body. Wow, that's a powerful weapon. And I was just thinking, since I'm not plugged into a Wi-Fi, I don't use a Wi-Fi code at my house, I just use the cell phone's network. What happens whenever I go into the Wi-Fi in my house? How's the signal? If I'm watching YouTube videos, I could go anywhere. And I get this signal. And now we have a surveillance tool. Then I go to the Wi-Fi in my house. How's the signal changing to the phone? How does my phone receive that signal? And since I'm with one cable company, the other cable company better not be in there. The same shit that camera lens is picking up on these data wires, it's up on the tension wires. This is an applied voltage. And it's considered visible light communications because the human eye can see it. And then what else? What else do you do? Harvest radio frequency to make health sensors. And then use the health sensors as a weapon. Because here's the gig. When you have that up there and you could create an amplification and have a specific charge set to it at a magnetic field, it'll pull all nano. All nano that the airplane sprayed, it's on the ground, and anything that's in the atmosphere, it will pull these ionized charges. Just like a magnetic field, electric field, it'll pull it. And they start collecting nano and form a robot out of it. Run these special, just like I'm walking, the MPUs we're making, neural processing units. You want to pay people to walk around now, huh? And not tell them what you're really doing. The brain's being recorded. All your little nerves being recorded with this. And they're making fucking robots. Remember, my friend, frequencies resonate internal energy, neurologically developing scaled states of stupidity in surveillance fields. Unbelievable, isn't it? Surveillance, state, scale, and stupidity. This powerful, it's called a weapon. It's not even surveillance. It's a weapon. Hey, that paperwork I put up yesterday, what do you think's in Biden and Trump's classified files? Think. Now the police station's using this. And who's going to stop the police station from being fucking hacked and them just using their shit? Boeing, whistleblowers, anybody? And I haven't watched the headlines in over a month. And the way the CIA is working, people just sit on a computer and watch headlines, look at headlines, and get paid a lot of money just for connecting the dots in the headlines. And I sit there and watch headlines on a computer. Now all the data's taken and it's someone else saying they found them. That's not including my DNA, my brain data. There's so much shit going on here. Pharmaceutical companies manufacturing nanos to take and be controlled by remote radio frequencies. And then the other one. Why are we bitching about illegal immigrants? Because they come here. We want it to be done right. The first thing that happens, jab. A jab. And as we know, this is a surveillance tool and it's a weapon. You join the service, you can't be in the service without a jab. First thing you get is a fucking jab. And it's a surveillance tool. And it can be used as a weapon. So my question is, all you guys coming here, why do you even want to come here? You want to come, they jab you, but you don't want the jab, so you come here anyways. And then what? So they fabricated a law instead of the Fed down in Texas, and it's growing throughout the country, where the state overruns the Fed. And the Fed means the Air Force Base, means the FBI. So then the state gets to say, hey, we're coming in. The fuck are you doing? No. And now there's people over here. There's people over here where these weapons are at. You can see it plain as day on the camera. Plain as day, you can see this. And as I move and change elevations and move around, the shit's following me around. Because it's an antenna that's connected with the brain. Like I said, how to use a human body as an antenna. Records all gestures. It'll even identify your location. And then it's taking all your words too, because it's building amplification systems, electrical reflections, cameras. This is supposed to be a silent video. All I was supposed to do is walk down there and have this camera pick up what's on them wires. And there was a bird up here on top of that tree. Chirp, 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 chirp. And that sends amplitude through the wires to the phone. You wonder how your shit's getting hacked. And then if you take that bird that the microphone coil picked up, what kind of modulation are you going to find in there? And more importantly, since the applications, you have applications to this computer, the computer in my phone. Applications for this computer. Oh, you should see the circuitry in this. It's down here. There's a computer chip right here, this box. And it pairs with the circuit breaker in the house. And this computer chip, we all know you can change the electrics in the phone because Apple told me. Their phones are overheating. They sent out a little code to change the electrics of the phone. Now you can change the electrics in the house. Simple. Before it had to be analog. Before it was analog. Now there's little computer chips that make it digital. You can control the numbers that's sent to the company first and foremost on how much electric you're using. And second of all, you can definitely change the wavelengths in the house from 60 hertz to 40 hertz to 20 hertz. And then you can put, since we're in some new technological field here, and we're pulling shit out of the brain, filament out of the brain, that's like a radio tube. You put one of these radio tubes up there on the lines, you could start pushing and pulling electrics. And it's like making a quantum computer in your environment. Quite literally. Because the world of quantum deals with light. And everything is light. If everything is light, you could control this intensity. You could control this rate of induction. Every time I'm thinking, there's a rate of induction going out of my head, and it's recorded. And if you could put it up on the power lines, you could put it on your fucking skull. Matter of fact, if they build a beam, a laser beam, and just put it right at my head, it will record everything. Just like a simple high school laser experiment. They shine a laser, amplify it through a speaker, you just blow on a light, and it picks it up, the decibels. What do you think's happened with the fucking brain? It's so sensitive, but still, it's picking it up. This NSO group from Israel. And since I lived the Air Force bases there, that means NASA's here. It means Space Force is here. The FBI is right down the road. All the government contractors, the Department of Homeland Security, even the Navy flies over the house. And I got the Army here. Who else am I missing? Well, all this action, the CIA's here. They had to bring the KGB in. Who else? Who else is here? Who else? Who am I missing? Who else am I missing? Third parties that are working for the police. Consultants. Who else is missing? What else is here? What else? And I just want to know who signed paperwork to keep it here. Who signed paperwork? That'd be my question. Who else am I missing? Oh, universities too, huh? Let's not forget about the University of Pittsburgh, University of Pennsylvania. Who else? Technical schools. Who else? The FCC. Let's not forget the FCC, the FAA. Who else? The EPA. Who else? Who else? The neighbors. Cybersecurity. Schools. Robert Morris. Cybersecurity. They got their own antenna on their property. You should see the transformer. We took a picture of the transformers up here for that antenna, and they had the antennas replaced. It was a round canister tube, and now they have it all square going around. Who knows what type of antennas these are, and I want to know what happened to the old antenna. Hold on, because we figured out what was going on. So someone took the antennas. What fused to the antennas? Because I'll show you an old light bulb. And you see where the light bulb screws into the socket. You should see the fusion that took place that I found in my property here. The fusion that took place. And then you bring it right through the electrical lines. Unreal. Unreal. But anyways, there's a hell of a reflection down here too. See that bush in the center screen and that fence? Look what's right above it. That's an antenna too. Every one of them posts that you see, a T intersection there, these are antennas. They're just watching TV, getting free cable. Oh yeah, that's the other one too here. Cable company. How much does it cost to get cable? Like $300 a month. And now through the open air, I could crack this and don't have to pay you. Just buy a device, plug it in like an Amazon Fire Stick. Remember, people were jailbreaking them, and the ones that got jailbroken got blown up. Yep. Police sirens. That changes the harmonics here. That goes through the wire. They have nano devices in the car, and it works with their shortwave radios. 700 megahertz, whatever it is. And that works with the signaling going on these antennas right here. And it hits the human brain because the human brain hears it and it's all around. And then it's in animals, birds, dogs, insects. Like, there was no bird sounds this morning whenever I first woke up. Birds won't come around here. They have to be like forced. The signal, the magnetic field here has to change because the birds get hurt. It goes through your eyeball, wants to control your eyes. Craziness, and I sound like a broken record, don't I? But how many more times do I have to explain this on what's happening? Because when you build electrical reflections, you start using neighbors' houses too. It's not just the birds building servers with the... Oh, is it there? Can you see it? Maybe there's a better example over here. There's some down here on the bottom of the bush. This is what they call aluminum sulfate. As you can see, the sun kind of makes it a little different to see. We'll show you here. These little patches they call lichen. It's aluminum sulfate. It's aluminum. And aluminum with an organic growth to it. Now this is all in decay here. At least it's still alive here. But you have all this lichen here, aluminum decay. Little server networks. Because aluminum is conductive, it holds light just like your semiconductor. Quantum computers, we're building quantum computers, supercomputers, outdoors. Thank you, geoengineering. I appreciate all the shit you dropped on us to allow these people to do this. And then whenever you do see an airplane going up there, if I had the equipment, beam right through these power lines and shit, and start controlling that shit up there, then what? Just grab a ball of the shit, make a robot, and use it maliciously. Instead of for, you know, we all want to stay alive, we want a nice environment, but who would be the one that would want to use this maliciously? Matter of fact, who's using it now to have all this attention? Because since there's gag orders and people just use encryption to talk, and who would do this? And then all the grand larceny that occurred, since it is stealing brain data, identity theft, literally recording people walking down the street and taking everything. For research and development, like I said, you can't even call Microsoft here in Pittsburgh. Their phone's off. Because it's a research and development company here in Pittsburgh. And we have this powerful weapon, this surveillance weapon. Like, I can't get over it. Survey me all you want. Do surveillance all you want. But when it turns into a weapon, yeah, this is going to have to be constituted by more than just myself. More than just myself. So who would want somebody that was just playing video games? Not talking, not making videos of themselves? What would make somebody that was doing that put the video games down and start looking up in the sky? Because these planes were up in the sky while I was playing video games, and I never once made a video and talked about it. People need to use your heads. Need to use your heads. PlayStation. Oh boy, PlayStation. With those analog controllers. What am I talking about right now? What am I talking about right now? And the brain's analog, and then we have these wireless controllers going back and forth, and we have these smart meters. Nano weapons were dropped in 2017. PlayStation. Anything you want to talk about? Where do I have to go? Japan? You guys are over there, Japan. Sony, PlayStation, Japan. All this money you get every month from people paying for service. Number two, all the video games, I'm sure you get a part of that cut. Just to work on a new set-top box. PlayStation 5. Like, how hard is it to make a new set? You plug a new goddamn chip in it, and that's it. You're done. So that's all you guys have to do for work. Once you make the box, you're done. What else are you researching and development? What else are you R&D-ing? Since I have analog controllers with haptic feedback in it. Huh? I remember Microsoft got in trouble for spying on people with his camera. The Xbox. And all these little kids play this. Now it's recorded the brain. That's like Tesla. You think Tesla only works on cars? I remember NASA had a contract for this tool. Tesla bought it. PlayStation, you're highly involved in this too. Because there's a server network where I could play live on YouTube. I could go live on YouTube playing video games, and I could put a microphone on and blah, 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 live. And there's a lot of work I did. A lot of video game playing. A lot of work. And since my identity's being stolen now, what do you think happened in the past? What do you think happened in the past? They wouldn't let the shit out, and they took it and took all that data and said it wasn't mine, it was someone else's. Because I used my real name. I'm not fake. Well, if you want to make money, you better use your real name, huh? You better use your real name. So, Nano Electronics and PlayStation, what's going on? Since the airplanes are unsafe. What's going on, PlayStation? Because I have a PlayStation, I don't have an Xbox. PlayStation 4. What do we find? What's going on? Says someone bricked it. And then PlayStation, you come out, you're gonna listen to all audio on all when people connect. Even if they're not connected, you're still listening to audio. You put it out in your service agreement. So what's going on? Because when video games started coming in wirelessly, like I didn't have to have a digital download of the game. I didn't have to have a physical copy of the game. It's literally coming through the ether here. Just like cameras that don't plug in. Cameras that you could install in your house, they don't plug in to the electrical system. They're literally powered by the radio frequency transversing through the medium. Just literally. And just like the video games coming through to PlayStation, and I left you guys a message. I don't want this service because there's so much latency. And then all of a sudden you just download the game. You can download the game for $10 a month. Any game on our system, you can download it and play it to your system instead of through the medium, creating electrical reflections using your little haptic feedback analog controllers. Oh God, what a lawsuit, huh? Kamala, you ready? That's why I choose her over Trump as of right now, because she has the jargon I think she could really put in play here. Because he's a criminal, she's an attorney, and his Trump's old attorneys come out and said he's like a mob boss on these headlines. He controls his administration like a mafia. There's a lot coming up. Geoengineering, the cyber fucking weapons, medications, pharmaceuticals, television, phone. Perfect timing. Look at this. Cybersecurity. Hey, Robert Morris here. Look at this. Perfect timing. Robert Morris University. Used to be Robert Morris College. Now they study cybersecurity. And these cyber weapons, the cyber weapons that they call surveillance tools, cyber weapons, the encryptions that are used for the human brain. Oh! Bitch. Fucking bitch. Fucking female dog. Yeah, the cyber weapons that are being encrypted right next to the Air Force, United States Army, NASA, NSA, University of Pennsylvania, vaccines, pharmaceuticals. Kamala Harris is a good attorney. You see how this works? Record all gestures, all brains. And then the data goes You form encryption for this. We're paying people $45 an hour to walk around, to be recorded with this cyber tool, the surveillance tool. They call it a exploitation tool for accessing your phone and changing electrical signals. They call it hacking. They call this look at this. They call it hacking. Identity theft, stealing, grand larceny, the whole 9 yards. It's like a female dog in heat. It's painful. And then all the emotions, all the body's reactions, this all gets recorded. Look at the light beam. Box of the light beam there. Oh God, these sophophagia with the gutters. These antennas that get formed. And it's like, it turns into a ball. Like it goes in and explodes and comes like a nano film. It's a ball and explodes. Comes a nano film. Just like the semiconductor on your phone can manipulate electric. And since an antenna is nothing but an electric field with an ionic charge, they say it's non-ionizing. They say it's non-ionizing until you change the interference pattern. Change it. How do you use the power lines as an antenna? That's what I could call up and ask everyone.